Can you?
Hello.
Hello, Brad.
Yes.
Oh wow. Hello, Paul. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can see the screen now. Hello, hello. It's taken Brad and I a little while to figure out which buttons to press. Um,
Yeah.
and can I say, Brad, I feel like we've bonded in this now. I feel like we've been through the darkness as well as the beautiful things as well.
Yeah. The first word that came to mind was it was like a trip through the shadow, and then finally surrendering and giving up completely.
That's it. Listen, let me do your introduction to you. Firstly, I'm really happy for you to join us. Everyone that's here on the live feed, my name's Jason Tantra, and I really wanted you to meet Brad today, who's coming to the TantraLove Festival in Glastonbury, 24th to the 28th of August. And I think one of my passionate things has been is to really bring you amazing teachers that really have something incredibly beautiful to offer. And I first met Brad probably about a year ago, Brad. Was that in my workshop in Asheville?
It was a little less. It was about 8 months ago
Wow.
in May.
And since then, we've kind of been bumping into each other in different ways. You're one of the writers like me for him, Eros TV. And you're one of my friends, Brad, and I love you and I love what your work and who you are. And I just wanted people to get a sense of you and to meet you so that we can persuade them to come and meet you in Glastonbury in August this year. So tell me a little bit about you. Maybe introduce yourself.
Oh, sure. I'd be happy to. But first of all, I just want to say thank you. I did first meet Jason last May, and I really warm-heartedly felt inspired by everything that he brought as a facilitator. He's really a gifted man in terms of holding space for other people, and he brings such a collection of gifts. And I'm really excited that he opens the TantraLove Festival in Glastonbury to other teachers so that we can get a full multifaceted representation of lots of different styles and parts of what we
Yes,
call
yes,
Tantra, because
yes.
I could introduce myself best within the context text of Tantra by saying that I bring a different element. I bring other pieces, just like each one of us brings a special piece. And I would say that there's no definitive 100% right way to explain Tantra or to be Tantra. It's really a matter of the heart and showing up as fully as you can and your purpose and finding it. So what I would like to say is I've been on a tantric path since I was 14, maybe before, but I started
Yes.
discovering my tantric path alone in my room, which my parents were nice enough to install a lock when I became a teenager, because they're very open people sexually, even though I grew up in the rural South and the land of the Southern Baptist in the United States. I was blessed
Yes.
with parents who encouraged me to really embrace sexuality as a part of who I am.
Yes. So what was the lock on your door for?
It was for my little sister. And
Okay, so is this to give you some privacy?
yeah, what I'm saying is my parents recognized as I became a teenager that I needed certain amounts of privacy. And while they didn't
Yes.
encourage me to go into my room and masturbate. I did it every day and developed
Yes.
an ecstatic sexual practice 9 years before I ever had a sex partner. And
Wow.
I actually feel that some of my greatest teachings began to come to me through self-pleasuring before I met anyone who told me about the word Tantra.
Yes.
I
Can,
was a spiritual leader in my family, and it was probably as 10 years later when I started coming out as a gay man that I recognized that being gay was not separate from my spirituality. And in fact, the more that I came out about being gay, the more people
yes.
recognized that I also had a role as a spiritual leader in my community and in my family, even in the rural South. So the very
Yes.
different story of religion and sexuality
Yes.
and the way
Yes.
that they merge. I grew up in the place people said that the rural South in the United States was famous for electroshock therapy to convert those gay people back into normal heterosexuals. But my story is all of the Southern Baptists that I met were incredibly affirming of me. They only expressed concern for my safety and my health because so many people had died of this plague, and they associated that with being gay. And so my friends and family only expressed love. Never condemned me at all for who I was.
Wow. That's really quite liberating, because a lot of people don't have that experience, do they?
They don't, and it was a long time before I realized how fortunate that I was. And it's my desire to somehow touch and reach the millions of people worldwide who are not having such a positive experience. Somehow I was born into that so that I could express some encouragement and I could survive, make it through. And then
I've lost.
No, you lost me because I was about to tear up.
Tell me, what were you saying there?
I was saying, I think I was blessed with an unusual experience as growing up Southern Baptist and gay, and visiting Russia when I was 17. To somehow tell a different story, that this so-called impossible merging of opposites is possible. And then I met a Tantra teacher named Rudy Ballantyne, who began to speak about Tantra as being the merging of the opposites. That, you know, we put life in this box and that's that box, and yet they can come together and be one.
Paul's saying that he's come from quite a religious upbringing as well. I don't know if you can see that in the messages. Oh, he said, actually, you've come from quite a religious upbringing, and he's saying that he's the same. But my sense is that the Southern Baptist is quite a unique flavor of religion, and it sounds like the experience you're describing is completely not what people would say was a normal experience.
I don't think it was, and yet perspective really makes all the difference. You know, when I was a teenager, I thought there's something terribly wrong with me, and if people find out this about me, then But then the perspective came in by realizing that when I started to tell people that I am a gay person and I do have a soul, that I was making a difference in the world just by telling the truth. And I only came out to people with love. I never came out to them and said, I have to tell you something, fuck you. You don't have any clue who I am. You know, the attitude was not contrary. It was, I love you, and that's why I want you to know me.
Tell me, what was one of your most peak experiences that you've had in Tantra? How would you describe it?
Oh my. I mean, it depends on what we calibrate as Tantra. I mean,
what do you calibrate?
My life. So I'd have to tell you what's the peak experience of my life. And I could only say it's right now. It's this moment in which life culminates, that I sit here with you and talk with people everywhere about hope and renewal. This is the highlight of Tantra, is right now. Yes.
And Paul's saying something about human connection, laughing and sharing. Those things for him are important. But I think what I was trying to understand, what was behind my question, was looking for an experience of something that was beyond your day-to-day experience of life, that you could share, that could, I guess, illuminate a bit more, kind of give us another perspective in meeting you.
A perspective other than my day-to-day life?
Yeah, kind of like just looking, but I guess what's behind it is in my own experience with Tantra, in my own personal journey, there's been a couple of what I would call peak experiences that kind of remain without words. And for me, with Tantra as a spiritual practice that uses my sexual energy to reach, I want to say different states of consciousness, but I don't mean that in a woo-woo kind of way. I mean that in a really, like,
Uh-huh.
oh my fucking life, that was fucking amazing type way. And I was trying to inquire kind of what experiences you've had that
Oh,
kind of really keep bringing you to Tantra, keep bringing you back to it.
well, the best way that I can answer you is what's present with me now, and that is the ecstasy and the grief. So my peak experiences in Tantra have been about mind-blowing erotic ecstasy, and about the deep pits of grief and sadness, and finding what they have in common. And in terms of peak tantric erotic experiences, which I think might be what you're asking and might be what's interesting to people listening, I have found that sexually ecstatic connection with other men has been the primary gateway for me to other realities. And I discovered when I first started having sex with men at age 23 that I felt like I was flying through the stars, and I felt like I was cutting backflips on the other side of the galaxy. And when I would orgasm, or even before I orgasm and after, I would see colors and I would see dream states. And when I first checked in with one of my fuck buddies in San Francisco in 1999 and said, you know, I'm seeing all these beautiful images of flowers and fields, and I can smell the flowers. What do you see? It was right after we both had an orgasm. And he said, well, I was just seeing the J Church line on Church Street, like I was in the subway. And I said, that's what you saw after your orgasm? And he said, yeah. And I couldn't tell if he was joking. He was a psychologist, and I think he was just messing around with me. I was like, I'm seeing flowers, I'm smelling the flowers. He's like, I was just seeing myself on the subway. But if there's any story I'm here to tell, is that dreams are always alive, and you don't have to be asleep to dream. And I think what sets my tantric experience, what really defines my tantric experience, at least currently, and what connects so many of these peak experiences I've had, is that there's so much more to see than meets the eye. And all of my erotic experiences with all men that I've been with have taken me into that beautiful garden of connection with what feels like home. And it's my desire for more men to find that place of serenity and peace and connection, and recognize that sexual ecstasy is a beautiful pathway there. And there are many other pathways. That's just one of my favorites.
So tell me, because I guess I want to kind of go now, is to tell me a little bit about the Tantra that you bring, that's the tantric space that you hold, that you teach, that you facilitate. How do your experiences in Tantra and inform what you're bringing?
Well, I've decided that everything that I'm teaching this year is going to have one common theme. And that common theme is dream while you fuck. So we live in a world where people like to take that literally. You know, people think the word fuck means penetrating someone, or being inside of someone. What it means to me is a state of whole body erotic ecstasy, where your whole body becomes the instrument of your expression, your genitals become the generator. So I want to guide men in experiences ranging from erotic wrestling to whole body erotic prayer for the sake of vision and magic. And I'm actually merging the two of them, so that whether you're wrestling with one another and speaking exciting dirty words in one another's ear, or whether you're sitting in a meditative yab yum posture with your cocks together, The thing that holds these experiences together is to hold something in our hearts that is beyond simply the pure physicality of us being here in this body right now. And I really want to bring the connection between the state of whole body erotic ecstasy and the way that our sexual delight affects other people in the world who may not even be here right now, or may not even be in this world. I want to introduce the radical marriage of our sexual ecstasy with holding a higher vision for this world. The classic example is my grandmother was dying in 2013, and it was her time to go, but she couldn't let go, and she couldn't find her way through the portal into the spirit world. And so what did I do? I called one of my lovers and I said, I need your help. I need you to come over tomorrow morning, and I want to pray for my grandmother. And I want to pray for her with all the pleasure and all the joy that we have in our body. And I want to visualize her celebrating, you know, like I want to see her in full flight. And the best way for me to see her in full flight is to be there myself. Every time I make love, I go to heaven. Heaven is not a place you go to when you die. It's a place to live in right now. So,
I hear you.
my friend who was twice my age, Norm Self, who's in many of the Hemeros videos now, is the world's oldest erotic, the oldest man in erotic film right now, is a lover of mine who helped me on November 4th, 2013 to enter the realm of flight. When we make ecstatic love, we enter the realm of flight. We go beyond the body and we see the unseen. And that's why we as gay men are connected to the realm of death and to the realm of heaven at the same time. Why do people scream, oh God, when they're in a state of orgasm? Why do the French call orgasm le petit mort? It's because a part of us leaves behind and goes beyond this body, ecstasis, beyond this body. Then we have this ability to connect with all the people we've ever loved. And so the radical concept, hold someone you love in your heart. Hold the people in the world who are starving right now and don't have enough to eat. The people who don't have clean water, the people who really are in need of being held and loved by the divine. We can wish them well when we're flying through that realm of consciousness where everything is possible. And I'm finding as many down-to-earth practical ways to teach that as I can. Beginning with visualization and continuing by holding that vision while you make love. Hence the term dream while you fuck. And I didn't get to see what Tyler wrote, Jacob Tyler.
So what he's saying is it's interesting to talk about the nature of mental activity during erotic activity, as when I'm engaging in not so connective, in a not so connective activity, I tend to think and focus on mundane things. Yet when I connect to others, truly in erotic activities, the magic becomes real.
Yes, absolutely. It's no longer a thought, it's a state of being. It's not just that we think about it or visualize the beautiful world that we're ready to paint on our own canvas. It's that we feel it. We can see ourselves living in it. We can feel in our body what it feels like to live in a world where people are free from disease, free from perpetual unnecessary suffering. And when we feel that in our own body, we can hold that for the rest of the people who still are waiting.
So tell me a little bit about the workshops that you're planning to bring to Glastonbury. Kind of, for me, what I've been really hearing is what's precious to you and what's really informing the work that you do, and kind of how does that translate to what people are going to experience in the workshops with you?
Thank you so much for your question and for having it together so much together, Jason, after flying from Bangkok with a cold. Thought you were dying yesterday.
I am.
So thank you. But thank you for your beautiful questions. So, well, the truth is what what I'm bringing to Glastonbury is still forming in this very moment. So everyone that's listening and watching this right now is contributing, and it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same there. So we're going to be working with the theme of dreaming and holding visions while you are in a highly aroused state. So this will range from erotic wrestling in your hot favorite underwear to perhaps even some play parties that welcome multiple forms of erotic activity. I believe it was you, Jason, who encouraged me not to be too specific too early, because I think we're going to be solidifying the program in May. But what I really, what I'm holding vision for is...
Is this you asking me live on Facebook Live about what you can do in August?
No. I'm going to dare to hold the vision in my heart until it becomes true on planet Earth, which is the shaman's dream. So we're going to be merging sexuality and shamanism. We're going to be merging overt erotic excitement with the ability to recognize that when we make love and raise high levels of excitement with other men, that we have access to a tremendous amount of energy, which can be used to bless these bodies, to bring health and vitality. But most of all, I want to invite men who are coming to Glastonbury to hold a vision for their optimal state of being in this world. Begin to hold the dream in your heart. What are you going to look like when you wake up in the morning so fucking excited to walk out the door that you can just barely wait to get your clothes on and get out there? You know, what does it look like to be excited and engaged with the world? I'm in Mexico City today. Did I mention that? I am in Mexico City, walking around the city, observing people, and I've discovered that even if I don't know the difference between the word truck and bus in Spanish, that when I smile and I laugh, the people are so warm. We have such an effect just by walking out the door. What is going to be your effect on this world? What do you want to bring? Do you want to sit in a park and sing and see who shows up? What would you dare to do that you never once even thought of doing? Are you going to sit at a bus stop sometime and just start talking to people all day and taking notes? What do you want to do you haven't done yet? You know, if this is the last day of your life, what are you ready to see happen? I want to bring that kind of passion into men's hearts, and then I want to have ecstatic, erotic wrestling matches covered in hot oil in our underwear.
We're begging you to come, Brad. We're begging you to bring this. I've actually been selling this naked mud wrestling oil Tantra tournament because actually I think one of the things that you're uniquely bringing is a permission to do what we never dared dream of. And I think that's one of the things I love about you. I'm not saying we need permission, but actually I think for me, you bring a provocative nature that I would break the law with you, Brad. If you told me to like raid a shop, I think I'd do it. I'm joking. But you kind of have that ability, I think, to bring people into doing things that they wouldn't normally do. And I think that's, for me, one of the magical things I observe in you is that ability you have to break people out of their normal day-to-day patterns.
Thank you. So the way that I do that is by creating a place where people know that everything that we attempt, every experiment we try, every word, every gesture, we are affirming that it's for the greater well-being of everyone here and for all the people we love. I love to begin anything I do, whether it's an erotic wrestling match or an ecstatic fuck scene. I want to begin it with the affirmation, another form of prayer, that I'm allowing this body to be a vessel to bring what is most needed, and thank you, Paul, to bring what is most needed and what is most helpful in the world right now, and in the process to discover the depths of our passion and what we're here to bring in this world, the gifts that we're bringing alive. So there is one more thing I'd love to do at the TantraLove Festival in addition to wrestling.
Have we talked about this yet, Brad?
I wrote it down on October the 30th.
Oh, okay. What did you write
I'll
down?
I'll speak in more general terms.
No, tell me, what was it?
Well, I spoke about it in general terms because it can happen in a number of ways, but what I've been doing and what I've done with lots of men and what I really would love to bring to Glastonbury is the power of the circle, the power of a group of men gathered in a circle. Yeah. And everyone in the circle brings a gift. You can bring a drum, you can bring your guitar, you can bring your voice, you can bring your quiet meditative place, you can bring yourself fully clothed, you can bring yourself in your favorite fetish gear, you can bring yourself with a butt plug up your ass, you can bring yourself ready to sing your heart out and sing Kumbaya if you want to. But whatever you do, I want to invite people to come to a circle and bring their most beautiful, authentic self. And in the center of that circle, there will be a place for connection, and that connection may be in the form of erotic wrestling. But more than likely, it will be in the form of body contact in various forms. And the key is that everyone in the circle supports everyone in the center, and everyone in the center inspires everyone in the circle. And collectively, we raise this energy. We raise this energy within which we can place our visions and we can hold the people we love. And that collectively is known as sex, as prayer, ecstatic erotic prayer. There's nothing I love to do more than to sing for men while they make love. I just love to sing for them and play the guitar. Beautiful songs come. And
have you got your guitar right now?
Of course, I hauled it on so many airplanes as carry-on luggage.
We might come to that. Jacob's asked a question. Are you ready for this?
I'm always ready.
So Jacob says,
well, yeah.
Jacob says, I'm also curious, Brad, what do you mean by making love? We can all agree that through being brought up in a heteronormative society, the heterosexual definition of making love is very sanitized and very limited in regards to the rainbow of our experiences of gay men. And then he says something about forgiving him for how academic it sounds.
I love the question, and I would just first like to preface this by saying people, regardless of gender, have the ability to enjoy the kind of love making we know. And there is a dominant culture, which I didn't realize until maybe a couple of years ago, that when people say make love, they mean fucking. They mean that they're putting a penis inside of someone, that means making love. I had no idea. So when I refer to making love, I refer to the ecstasy and the exquisite joy that infuse the whole body and calls us to tingle from head to toe. I made love with a beautiful man in Mexico City here the other night for hours, and we forgot about coming and we forgot about fucking. We were having too much fun. What were we doing? We were nibbling each other. We were holding one another. We were growling and sending deep guttural sounds into one another's taint meat. we were laughing, we were squealing with delight, we were covering one another in sweat and oil, we were dancing horizontally, we were making love. So without being too specific, Jason, at the TantraLove Fest, making love is going to happen when people are in ecstatic, joyful connection with one another, dancing vertically, dancing horizontally, in your underwear. Some of the best lovemaking I've ever had in my life, the underwear never came off.
Wow. I hear you. I hear you.
It prompts us to remember this whole body is the instrument, not just the cock. You know, this whole body is an erect phallus that's trembling like a tree in the springtime that's bursting with energy. I think as the beautiful Tantra teacher that you are, you would agree that when you teach embodied Tantra for other men, that you probably encourage them to feel the vibration through their whole body, that everything is alive. The trees outside of these windows in a big city are teeming with life, and so is this body. We don't want to localize the energy just into our crotch. We want to feel it all the way out to the ends of our limbs and out the crown of our head.
Yes, yes. All of that. Yes, yes.
And more, of course.
And Andrew Ferry says that's my kind of lovemaking.
Right.
So that's good. I think for me, one of the things that we do, like when Inga and I created the TantraLove Festival 7 years ago, what we wanted to create was a wonderland of love. Like when I talk about it, it's like I wanted to create the kind of place that I want to go to when I die. So when I die, I wanted to create that version of heaven that we think is there, but actually we don't need to wait to die. And I could get very philosophical about that idea of what's actually dying. But that aside, what I wanted to create was a container of love, like what I call a wonderland of love, that isn't always so readily accessible in people's day-to-day lives. Like the reason why people come to the TantraLove Festival is because it's a container to have experiences of profound love that isn't easily accessible in our day-to-day life. And for me, you know, my invitation to you is to come and bring yourself, come and bring you, come and bring the magic that we're witnessing here to help us co-create that. I'm giggling because I could just feel a naughty side in you, Brad, and I'm really excited about that being present. And I'm imagining it might create carnage, but that might be my fantasy. But just bringing you the bright light that you are, I'm really excited to welcome you.
Mm.
Maybe the naughty side's my projection of you, Brad. I don't know.
Oh, I just honestly have no idea what you're talking about. That
Well, you just need to look at your Facebook. Have you seen it on your Facebook? There's you taking an axe. You're taking an axe.
Yeah.
I absolutely fucking love that video.
That was one of the naughtiest things I ever posted on Facebook.
I loved it. Paul is saying, Jason, you're beautiful as we are. So is Brad. We're doing all right, Brad. We're winning. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
You're beautiful too, Paul.
I really want to comment on something that you just said a minute ago that really touched my heart. And
what was that?
Well, you were talking about the power of gathering and creating heaven on earth. Yes. And how we don't always have access to that.
Yeah, we don't.
And yet the reality is we do.
Yes, I hear you.
And I've been holding that vision for a long time because
yes,
that reality is existing here on earth. It's just as real as all the horror.
Yes.
And I've been to many gatherings of gay men. I can thank the radical fairies in my 20s for giving me a place where I could see the possibility. Yes. I love you, Jason, for creating a place where men from all over the world can come together and explore in a very conscientious way within a safety and a structure. I love the fact that it's drug and alcohol free. I mean, we have access to so much ecstatic pleasure in these bodies. And once we've come there and we've come to the big beehive, my friend Mati at Short Mountain in Tennessee, Mati talks about how we come back to the hive. Yes. So what a hive does have structure, and you've created the structure into which men can come together. And once we've tasted the honey, I really feel we can take it back out into the world. It's a seed, and it must be planted everywhere from Mexico City to Tokyo.
Yes. And Palm Springs, where I'm at right now.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to be there in a couple weeks.
Okay. We're meeting up, aren't we? I think we're meeting up.
With you,
Up. Yes. What do you know? So listen. Okay.
It was supposed to only be 20 minutes, but I have a short song.
Okay, but just before that, what I wanted to just tell everybody watching is, listen, I wanted you to meet Brad today. I wanted you to meet what Brad's bringing, who he is, and what he's going to be offering at the festival, because I know that both Brad and I would absolutely love you to be there. And I'm going to give you an extra special incentive in that if you book your festival ticket listening to this, and you put in the code Brad Live. Okay, so you need to put Brad Live into the promo code. I'm going to give you an extra £50 off the entry ticket, just as an extra thank you, as an extra incentive to bring you along. So you need to put Brad Live, and Alison, my little admin helper, will take £50 off your booking. So I really hope you've enjoyed this Facebook Live today. I hope you got a sense of Brad. Brad, I love you. I don't know how else to say that. My heart just opens when I'm in your presence, and I really feel that you offer something very unique and very special. And I'm so happy that you're coming to this festival in Glastonbury. I think you're going to love Glastonbury as well. I'm just really excited.
I'm really excited too. Thank you for forming an international network that makes it possible for more people to meet and plug in.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know if I would want to spend as much time with all of the incredible logistics that you undertake, so that we can come and explore the connection with the divine. So thank you for forming the network that we need.
Thank you. So are you going to sing us out?
Yeah, this is a song by Kate Wolf.
Okay.
Who wrote many songs in the Joshua Tree National Park area where you are, about the land. And yes. I sing this song for a lot of my male friends and male lovers, because it's about the path that many of us walk as healers. By the way, the reason I'm wearing this big ass headset is because I lost my headset last night in an Uber somewhere.
Okay.
But considering where I've been in Mexico City, it was totally worth it. And these are my studio headphones.
Are you bringing your guitar to Glastonbury?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, I have to use, I'm sorry, I have to put my, oh no, my capo. Yeah, this song has to be sung in a slightly different key to work out.
Okay.
Right, yeah, so here we go. It's called Gentle Warrior.
Okay.
Or no, it's called Brother Warrior. I mean, the very word warrior brings up controversy, but when you hear the words, you'll see that the controversy ends. Brother warrior, with your heart like gold and a rainbow in your eyes. Spirit healer. Oh, that's not the words. Sorry. Let me take these off.
Okay.
So I can hear myself.
Okay.
Brother warrior, with your heart like gold and a rainbow in your eyes. Brave companion, do you see a world shining in the sky? With your body dancing like an arrow, spreading joy beneath your feet, and your hands that wave like tall grass in the wind as you speak, with the shyness of a small child and the wisdom of a sage. I can tell you now, there is no reason to be afraid. Brother warrior, there are none of us who walk this path alone. Spirit healer is the only life that we have ever known. I see, hear your song in the sunlight, see your songs in the rain. I hold you here inside me. I know your love and your pain. At this time when the world is waking to the dawn of another age, I can tell you now, there is no reason to be afraid. We are crying for a vision that all living things can share. and those who care are with us everywhere.
That's beautiful. Giving you a round of applause, Brad. I'm just giving you a clap. That was really, really gorgeous. So
I look
listen,
forward also to bring. I'm also going to bring songs. I'm going to bring songs to the.
Good.
Yeah, for the dinner circles or wherever a song is needed, I'll have the song.
Okay, we're going to.
And
yes.
or there may be a little storytelling somewhere.
We'll enjoy that too. That would be really beautiful. Listen, Brad, I've really loved sharing with you today, and I've loved kind of you meeting everyone. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Andrew, for your questions and comments. And yeah, can't wait for you guys to come and join us in Glastonbury. So as I said, Brad Live gives you £50 off August 24th to 28th. In Glastonbury. Details are on the Tantra for Gay Men website. Lots of love, Brad. Thank you so much,
Lots of love to you too. Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for spending the time with us today. Lots of love to you.
It's been a pure delight.
Beautiful. Okay. Bye-bye.
Love you.
Thank you.
See you
love
later.
you too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Hasta luego.